Woo! Hey, gang! It's Heather Biederman for Liberty Librarian. How y'all doing? It is another Thursday. Ooh, I see the love. I see the love in the air. Oh, so yes, it's crazy. I just got good news from my husband that their Gustavus Adolphus College is bringing the students back. So we were just partying for a second, and then I was like, "Oh my shoe! Oh my shoe!" So I'm a couple minutes late. I'm sorry about that. I loved getting to see you guys. Hello, Darcel. Hi. Good afternoon to you, my lady. Oh, so we are so happy. Part of what the worry was is that if there were no students or they're going to send him home, that there going to be a possibility of him being furloughed again. So, as you know, from my ongoing pandemic year, it's been kind of up in the air and crazy with like what's going to happen. And I know a lot of people out there are going through the same thing, and it's really hard to not know where the money is going to come from, and if you're going to be able to pay your bills and that sort of thing. And it's been pretty good for us this year, but even that, with just the uncertainty, is a little bit of a freaky thing. So we are so happy. Yay. That's my good thing for the day. Last week I had a really fun time. I with my good friend Kara Schultz, we went to the Libertarian National Committee. It's the LNC. They, for the first time, had their meeting, their quarterly meeting, to Minneapolis. So I got to go up there and go meet a lot of people that I've known online but not seen in person. So that was super cool. Had a great time. Got to see how the mechanisms run, and there are a lot of really smart, amazing people on the committee, and it was neat to watch it. And one of the things that was pretty cool for me was seeing that the chair of the Libertarian Party is the first openly gay man that from any party that's been a chair of a major party. So yay! And and I often have people that they don't realize what the libertarians are about, and I just thought it's kind of cool when you see one of the first parties that push for gay marriage and equality, and getting rid of stupid laws that prevent people from being happy, and promote privacy, and that they're doing great things. And we're this close to being on the ballot for every all 50 states, and then 2 territories is what they said. So very, very close. Will happen. The next step would be to get in the debate. So it is such an exciting time. And we talk a lot about that in the Sweet Subversive show that I do with Kara, and I don't really do as much about that here, but since we took a week off from Sweet Subversives, I thought I would spill the beans, right? It's been quite incredible. So, I kind of want to hang out more with those people. They're really nice. What a lame thing to say, Heather, right? But I just thought it was pretty cool. So I learned a lot. Got to be a part of some things. One of the things that I thought was really impressive was all these people came from around the country, and there's a mayoral candidate in Burnsville, Chris Claviter. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm not great with that. They did door knocking for him. They canvassed. So that was amazing that all these people would come and help out in another neck of the woods. So really cool. So I was very impressed by everyone. And I kind of feel like a little libertarian in the big libertarian pond right there. So I thought it was amazing. It was kind of like inspiring to see all these people and how hard they work. And I am just amazed by it all. So I was bummed that I, with my work this week, I didn't get to go up and see Spike come and visit Minnesota, but next Friday, Joe Jorgensen's coming to Minnesota, so I have another opportunity. So I might go do that. We'll see. I might be up in the metro. We'll see what happens. It's been kind of a nutso few weeks. So yes, I was at work today, and once again, kind of a strange thing. I mean, I know the other day in different states there was some protests against masks, so people were very uncomfortable about it. Either way, how you feel. I mean, I don't really like masks, but I wear them because they ask me to, and it's the rules, right? But there were people freaking out about it, so I kept an eye out today, and I didn't see anybody not wearing a mask. Now, one thing that crossed my mind today was I work in a place where if you have need, you can wear a face shield, and you can wear a face shield or you can wear a mask, but you have to wear one or the other. So I wear a face shield. I know people in their workplaces that they're not allowed to wear face shields. What do you think about that? I know I've had people to kind of treat me weird for even wearing a face shield. Like, that's not good enough. And really, I read a scientific journal today that they had like, it was like laserography or something. I don't know what they call it, but it showed like when people exhale, like where the particles come out. And like the shields, they do have, like, it goes out backwards, but it doesn't go towards the front. And what was interesting to me was that the masks, they had like big puffs coming up and out of the bottom. So unless it's perfectly sealed like a medical mask would be, you're still having that same kind of issue. So I feel like my face shield is a good option for me. I'll show it to you. It's right behind me. I just set it on the table. I got this. I have a couple different ones. I have one that goes over the head like that, but I don't really like them as much. They kind of squish my brain. But this one's neat. It goes like a neck collar, and I've had people make fun because they said it's like the cone of shame. It kind of is, but it's like half, and it's very transparent. You can see. I'll put it on. So as you can tell, I replaced the screen just recently because it was getting too scratched up. But I just read that there are ways to get rid of scratches on face shields. And what I really like is that it's staticky, that if you get fingerprints on it, you can wash it with soap and water, and it's really easy to clean. It's like more airflow, so it's not like you're suffocating in it. But so if you're anti-mask, how do you feel about face shields? I feel like it's a good option for me. But when I last flew, it was okay to wear face shields on planes, and now I've heard many planes are not letting people fly with face shields. I don't know if that's still true, but I think it's kind of a difficult thing. We live in this very weird time where we are told, like, one thing is okay, this is safe, and then it's sort of like butter. Butter is bad. No, butter's good. Butter's bad. Butter's good. Bacon's bad. Bacon's good. They never really settle on one thing because it's always polarized. So it kind of started to bother me a bit because every time, like, you second guess yourself. It's like last year was the first year that I've gone to events where, and I mean, now I long for just going to an event, but it used to be, as a woman, you kind of got the pat, and then you go into an event. This is the first time where I wasn't allowed to bring a purse, and I had like a teeny tiny purse I used to bring all the time, and they're like, "Nope, that's too big." And so I've decided that next time I go to some of these events, I get my Scotty vest jacket with 1,000 pockets in it, which is basically like a coat purse, and just stick all my crap in it and not worry about a purse. I mean, it feels like, I think back when I was younger, and You used to go just walk into stuff, there's no security, there's no, they're always telling us what to do, right, Joe? Right, Joe? Joe Steck, great guy. Honestly, they're always telling us what to do. And then they tell the businesses that they have to, and I'm sure it has something to do with insurance, but I just remember like going to things and like you didn't have to get the pat down. You didn't have to go through like x-ray machines. I remember before 9/11, which was last Friday, going on it. We flew to Las Vegas, I think it was. And there's nothing like that. And then like everything in the Unabomber, and then we have TSA. And they go, oh, it's just temporary. It's just temporary. And it never goes away. So my biggest fear is because of our history of being like overcautious humans, is that now that we are down this mask and paranoia about virus and illness, that we are never going to be able to let this go. Do you think in a year we'll go back to being normal? I hope so. I hope that we can go back to not wearing masks all the time. I've had people say that they want to have it so you wear your mask at home. How fun would that be to watch my show and not see my face ever? So I think if it does go down that way, then you'll be having speakeasies and places where people illegally gather to not wear masks. I'm not really that cool to get invited to stuff like that, but I'm just saying that would be kind of nifty. But then people go, they'll all die. Yes. Oh, what's this say? The VA has thrown the first flag stating the best way to avoid the flu is with masks. I know. It is the best way, actually. Let me say the best way is probably to just wash your hands and be very clean. Don't ever touch your face. And that is the big problem is I touch my face all the time. I'm surprised I haven't already had it. So wash your hands. Don't cough on people. Don't let people cough on you. And try to wear your mask. Try to wear a face shield. I get it. I don't like it. I'm getting to the point where I just want, it's like we all want the pandemic to end. All of us do. If you don't, you're something wrong with you. Just saying. But we'd like it to end. Yes, please. We would like no more pandemic. They treat people like adults. I do love South Dakota. Joe, you know it. I love South Dakota. The last time we went there, it was like a different planet. And you know what? Like I always like the devil's advocate on both sides. The other side would say, and they also had a spike. But I will say we're all getting a spike right now, and it's because it's fall. We're not outside as much. It's getting cold, and that's that's the thing. I mean, I hate it. The biggest bummer for me this week was we had a couple concerts that were holdouts. Crash Test Dummies. Oh, that would have been so good. That just got was that the one that was rescheduled? No, that was rescheduled for next year. And then pandemic has ended. We are now in an outbreak per CDC. Outbreak. Oh, so we're not in a pandemic anymore. That feels like it. But yes, my cancel. Oh, hi, Ginger. I didn't even realize that was you right away. Yes, I would like it to all. So I'd like our outbreak to end too. I'd like our governor to like not have emergency powers anymore. Which I read in I think it was Pennsylvania or somewhere that their Supreme Court of their state had ruled it is an illegal move for a governor to have that kind of emergency powers. I think it'd be interesting to see if other states kind of follow the same path. Maybe this will end on that account because they've been given a little too much power, and no one can overthrow that. Maybe it's time for it to end. But I think no matter what, do smart things, take care of yourself, stay healthy, and watch out for people. Help each other out. It's a hard time. I've been pretty bummed out about a lot of things, but I'm trying to get into my fighting trim. Speaking of which, it's that COVID-19, right? I've been starting this week to go on a little more healthy food, dieting a bit. Hate dieting. Drinking sparkling water instead of my beer with you. It feels wrong. But my goal is to just kind of give my body a little break and my brain a little break and get back to normal. Should be good. What else? Yeah, and then we had Monster Magnet got canceled, but so that was a bummer. But I have like one musical thing left, and I'm hoping that we have like good weather because it's an outside music kind of event where social distancing and stuff. So, oh, please let me have music. Please. Yes. So, on that note, the good thing that I've been thinking about lately, because you think about like what would make my life better, and I've decided that what would make my life better right now is lots and lots of money. Now, I've gone through and made a list of options on how anyone could become a rich person. Number one, easiest way is if you were born into a rich family. I am not. I do not know that many people who were born into money. It would be awesome, don't you think? But most of the people I know, we have to work. We're not like trust fund babies. So if you are, congratulations, you're already a step ahead in the game. Number two would be to marry or date a sugar daddy or sugar mama. Now, it's better if love is always great in any kind of situation, right? But that would be a great situation for people who really don't have a lot of skills to bring, except you need to be the total package. And I think that unless you have like model good looks or something that you bring like a great sense of humor, probably a really good job, which usually kind of attracts people who are the same social strata. Usually most people who are rich date and marry other people who are rich. Just saying. So if you can skip that line, good for you. You're already ahead of the game. Like most of us poor-ish people, get married for love, something like that. And honestly, it's so nice. And usually life is a lot happier when you have love in your life, right? But money also would be nice. So if you have a sugar mama or sugar daddy, I'm sure in some ways you're ahead of the game. There's a caveat to that. Hopefully they're nice people too, and you like them. I'd say that everything. Joe's looking for a sugar mama. So if you're a sugar mama and you want to keep Joe, he's looking. I think everybody would kind of like that. I told my husband that if I could find like a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, whatever, that he could be my cabana boy, pool boy, whatever. So it would work out. My problem is, I really like my man. He's a pretty good guy. I will say that. Oh, Ginger. This is one of the things I was talking about. I'm really glad you're on. One of the things we looked at was ways to get rich. Ginger and I had seen a article about, God, what is her name? It's like Angie. You have to look it up again. Oh God, I'm gonna look it up really quick because the name of the person escapes me. Um, oh, come on, fingers, my words. Angelique or something. I gotta look that up. I might have it still. How I made. Oh, her name is Amberly. That's it, Amberly Rothfield. And it's just such a weird article, but it made everyone who read it kind of think about being a phone sex operator. Rothfield. Actually, like started like I download the book because I'm a nerd. But yes, you gotta look back at what you said. Get through your boy's 18th birthday. You can be like, yes, I want you on the show, Ginger. If you do this and you're making big money, then I think this is a way. Oh my God, Joe Stick. Did Poison write that song? Talk dirty to me. Yes, they did. That was Poison. I saw them in Mankato. They came there. They were old, but it was cool. No, so the phone sex thing, I'm kind of like nerdy and weird, so I don't know that I would ever be good at something like that. I'm just saying. That's my disclaimer. It probably won't happen, but I love money. This is the problem, is that I like, part of me just wants to retire early and do something easy that makes a whole bunch of money, but I only have to work like a few hours a day doing it. And then I can like move to Portugal or like be a snowbird or something, go somewhere and like, just have a good life. But I would like to, working this hard for this long in my life, working my butt up and not seeing the end of it anytime soon. There was a fantasy part, and I think this whole year with the pandemic or the outbreak or whatever we got now has made it so you just feel like, how do I escape this? How do I like, be in a good place? Because let me tell you. Oh, bye, Joe. It's good to talk to you. I'm glad you could join us. See you later. I just think that, sexy time stuff, people are lonely now. And I think this is the main thing I got from her article. So just Google Amberly Rothfield. I might even post it in my Liberty Librarian links if you want to read more. She makes, let me see, I just really want to find it. I think it was was it Medium or something? Oh no, Business Insider. She said the name of the article is, "I'm a phone sex operator who made over $258,000 in 1 year." And she and her wife, they lived out in Las Vegas, I think, and then she made so much money that they were able to move across the country to a lovely estate and live comfortably now. And so she talked about how at night, after her kids go to bed, she goes and works in her car. So that way the kids don't hear like her being gross or anything. And so she works from, I think, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is hours that kind of confound me. And it seemed amazing, My hair's doing something weird, sorry. I think it was, the rate is $1.99 a minute at this thing. Is like Night Flirt or something. I'll post the article so you can read it. And she gets 70% of that, which is a lot. So it ends up being, I think if I did the math right, it was like $80 an hour, which is a lot. I mean, what jobs that are legal can you do that make that kind of money? So we're all like, we all get fired or let go or schools close or whatever, and there's no money coming in, that could be an option. So like, where do you draw the line? People, like, some people are like, I won't do that, that's gross. And I'm like, yeah. And I think like if you did it and you saw what it was like, you probably think it's kind of just more boring than interesting, but you have to have kind of a quick mind, I think. And I like improv stuff. So as evidenced by some of these shows where I just kind of throw a bunch of crap together and talk about it. But you have to be able to talk to people. And that's the biggest thing. I think like the sexy stuff that you could think about, that's nice. I mean, there's always going to be people who want specific things, and you just have to be creative. So that's something that I read about this week. So, Ginger, if you do that, let me know how it goes. I will totally have you on the show because I want to hear all about it. And, you know, it may not be anything I'd ever consider really hardcore doing, but hardcore. That was a great word to throw in there. Must be subconscious. But I like the idea of money. So that's one way you can get rich. And if you're already doing it, good for you. You're already a step ahead of the game. Another way that you could do is what I thought was kind of neat was that I read a little bit. She has a book on Kindle. Actually, she had 2 books. So I looked at it, and then I totally had to go through and my Amazon and uncheck that because it kept giving me kind of like more porny stuff recommendations. I'm a librarian. I don't need that. I'm looking for regular books normally so I can buy it for a library. We just don't have an erotica section at our community college. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, folks. But I wanted to read more about the business side of it, which I think is fascinating. How people make money at home is fascinating to me. I've been working on my financial independence, retire early workbook, and that's going really well. So that leads me, before I go into that, her book was kind of interesting because it talked about marketing things and understanding customers that I think would make for a really good learn about business book. It's actually quite well done. One of her books is a little bit fluffy, and I thought, like, you just threw that together. But the other one was actually like a detailed discussion about the business side of it and why some people succeed and others don't. And what she would do, and I'm just going to say this is a great idea anyway for whatever kind of business you're in, is she would take notes, and she had like an iPad so that way you didn't hear like the clickety clickety sound of somebody typing. And she would look up things that they're talking about if she didn't know whatever they're into. But she would take notes and have like kind of code names for people. So like if she came back and like, what did he have going on? And she would go, hey, how was that birthday party? Did it go well? Did you had an interview? How did that go? You know, like talk about things so that way you kind of get to know the people. And when you create a bond between people and you have something in common, then you will go, okay, like we're friends now. It's like you and me, like, and a lot of times Facebook does this for me is that like I kind of like I'm constantly looking through and seeing when people post, and sometimes we comment on each other's stuff, but then you get sort of a relationship with people. So it builds, and then you want to know how the other person's doing. You want to grow this relationship. So when you translate that into any kind of business, let's say you want to start your own business and that's how you want to make money, or you want to like, I don't know, sell something, you should make an effort to try to reach out and grow relationships with people. This is a good idea anyway. And I sometimes think back like, oh, there's an introverted side of me that's like, okay, now we're done. And I'm like, no, you should follow up with people, Heather. You should, like, hey, that was a lot of fun. We should do that again sometime, So there's part of me that's learning as I get older that there's behavior that people help each other out a little bit more when you're nicer. Not a bad thing, it's just you need to cultivate it. And so I learned a lot. I've only read a little bit in her book. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but even if I don't ever like really go exploring for sexy stuff, I think her model of like writing, So she promotes what she does. Oh yeah, Total Vagabonds. Hi. I'm good. I was just talking about getting rich. So to get rich, you might, it's like having that relationship. You want to get to know what the other people are doing, how we can help each other out. And I think it's an amazing thing, that even in a book about phone sex, I learned about taking notes on people. I know a lot of people who are marketers and who worked in promotions. They have intricate notes on every person that they work with. So they can read up on it, like if they're in an event and they know who this person's going to be there, and they can read up and just make sure that they like are on. Because some people, like, they meet people and they don't like, why do I even know you? There's nothing worse that breaks your heart, especially if you're excited to see them and they don't remember you. So I've learned a lot. So tie it into what you do. This is another way. If you are already doing that, you are already a step ahead of the game. What Heather should do is find something like a product or a class or something that I could sell that ties into what I do with Liberty Librarian or Sweet Subversives. That would be the smart thing to do. Write a book. Make something so it is a constant, what do they call it? Where you keep getting money every month. You get royalties, you get payments if people buy your books. Right away, you'll get a lot more, but then over time, you'll keep getting them. People buy them. I buy like Kindle books like all the time. And I don't know about you, but it's super fun to just look through. I'm a librarian. I can get most books for free. But I will say the Kindle library has unique authors, independent authors that explore ideas that may not be available. They may be too new. The publishing process takes years. And sometimes you may not see something that's current events kind of topic for a while. So you may have to explore independent publishing. And I do think that one of the books I just bought, because I'm a sucker for get rich quick ideas. I think it's just fascinating to, like, would this work? And I think the only people who really make money from the get rich quick schemes are people who are writing books or doing classes on how to get rich, not the people who actually follow it. I mean, yeah, you probably make some money, but not a lot. Book and booze pairing subscription service. I could do that. Good idea. This book is so depressing. You're gonna need some really dark port wine, dark like your soul will feel after you read the book, or something sweet and bubbly. This is a great one. Or this one for your shame. Yeah, I love it. So one of the things I was looking at, because I like to write, but I have never made a lot of money. I have a couple books that are like short stories and anthologies that are published. So got that going for me, but I'm never going to be rich from them. Just saying. But I had a lot of fun writing. And I think one of the next things I like to do, well, NaNoWriMo is coming up, National Novel Writing Month. So, if you're ever interested in writing a book, do it in November. It's already cold and crappy out. Where are you going to go? It's like a pandemic. So just write a book. One of the books that I just downloaded was like, if you make 28 books, you can live on it. And so people were cranking out like a book a month. Nonfiction usually, because that's a lot easier to crank out. Fiction just takes its own amount of time and writing, but they're even fiction, you can crank them out. I know, I love to read a good book, and I think that's not going to go away. I know people complain at me and go, kids today don't read, and I think that's true for a demographic of people. Like there's always people, and it doesn't matter on your education, it doesn't matter where you come from. There's just some people that can't sit and read, but there are a lot more that like to read. And I'm a sucker for nonfiction, so I just go through it. I blaze through nonfiction all the time. Fiction, I gotta be like real. I'm particular, and I gotta be in that mood because sometimes I will just like read a page and I will fall asleep. And I gotta stop trying to read at night because it just makes me way too relaxed. But I love books. I mean, I work in a library, right? So one of the things that they said, and I haven't read this whole book yet. I actually just bought it because I had like those digital credits from Amazon, and it had said that if you write a book a month, you can basically live on it. Now, I'm going to say I know a lot of authors who are published through publishing companies, and they are not rich from it. But I think if you had enough books out, it could be a considerable chunk of your living expenses. And I think it all adds up. So while you may never be rich, I think the idea is that you will make enough from like your side gigs and your gigs to be comfortable. So if stuff happens, like the economy gets crazy, that you can live on that for a while. Why not? So one of the things I wanted to show you, let's see if I still have this up. That's not it. Where is it? There it is. Okay. I'm going to just share this really quick with you. It's my Amazon. I was looking at the Amazon bestsellers, and what was interesting to me was like some of the topics. So what you do is if you want to write a book and you don't really know what, to do, is like what's popular now. And like the Rage book by Bob Woodward is huge right now. And you can talk about political things. And I actually saw the Home Edit shows on Netflix. And I think that's why it's so high up right now, where they did, like, what's her name from Legally Blonde, her house. She had an amazing closet, which is as big as my house, I think. And, like you look through the topics, and there's another Home Edit. What the theme of that is, in my mind, is people are stuck at home and they want to organize their house. Write a book about that. If you know it and you're interested in it. I was looking at where is that other one? Like Dune, the movie's coming out, so people are reading that again. Skinny taste. There's another whole genre of, if you're, like, people are always worried about being too fat. I mean, like, how do I make that nice sounding? I can't. So diet books are always popular, right? Write a book. If you had a thing that worked for you, you could write a book about it. And it works better if you're an expert in your field. But how do you get to be an expert in your field if you don't have writing and you talk about things that you do? So I just thought that was pretty interesting. You look through and you pick out topics that are of interest to you. Getting Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, popular book. How to Catch a Unicorn. So if you like kids stuff, that's really popular right now because people want their kids to read books because we're all stuck at home and they're looking for good things. So, and classics like To Kill a Mockingbird. That makes me happy to see that's number 50 on the list. So, let me turn that off. You can easily look through what's there, what's popular. And if you have ideas, make it happen. Some people Home Edit. Yes, I just saw the Netflix show. It's amazing. It makes me feel bad about my closet, though, and I will never show you guys that until I get it clean. And they'll be like, it was horrific, and now it's great. And I actually have good ideas from the show that I watched. God, what's her name? Reese Witherspoon. Which, by the way, I submitted a thing to be a librarian for her Hello Sunshine page, and it's like since the pandemic happened, that's probably never going to happen now. I'm so bummed. But she had a really cool closet. So, I mean, doing stuff that you're good at too. So people like they discount their own talents. How can you cultivate your talents? If you can do stuff that other people don't want to do, and you're one of the few people who are good at it, you can make some money doing that. Why not? So cultivate your skills, cultivate what you're good at. And one of the things that nobody likes to hear is, they always think like, how can I retire? And one of the things I look at with the financial independence, retire early plan was that, a lot of people think that they're just going to cut back on like the extra cup of coffee, and like, I'm just going to live frugally and then I'll make it. Really, the way you should focus is probably figuring out how to earn more. Earning more is easier than cutting. Um, how can you get a better job in your field? Oh, hello. Nice to see you. So, you can make more money. You can go back to school. You can like work as an apprentice to someone. Find somebody in the field that you really like and ask them if you can follow them around and learn about what they do so you can do it. It's people are so afraid to talk to each other in this day and age. And how do I say this nicely? It makes us weaker as a human race when we can't talk to each other and learn. There's wisdom that is every day being lost. And I watch shows on YouTube where they have guys that repair shoes, and we live in this world where we just throw things away. Yet some of these things are so valuable and beautiful that you need artists and you need people who work with their hands that can fix things. So never feel like the only way to do it is this get rich quick person telling you this is the way you should do this. You should just do YouTube videos and be an influencer. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of them out there, and most of them don't make any money. I don't make money doing this. Am I an influencer? I don't think so. I think I am just a what is it called? It's been a long day. Like one of those crotchety old ladies sitting on her porch, like yelling at the kids. Get off my lawn. Earn more and invest that income. Live on what you did before. Exactly. Don't keep raising it up just because you're making more. Keep doing the same stuff you always did. And you probably liked it anyway. It's almost never quick. My goal at this point is just to make enough money so I can maybe retire someday. That would be cool. We all got to pay bills, and I feel like no matter how comfortable you are, life throws you all sorts of like crazy crap, and you just got to deal with it on the fly. We do the best we can. I know you're all doing the best you can too. I thought about this earlier today, is that what are the best ways of getting rich quick? And I think if you figure it out, don't tell anyone. Because then they'll all be doing it. And then you won't have that working for you. So I'm sure that the really, really good advice is being held close to someone's heart as they go, oh, it's working. Thank God it's working. And then we all like go, okay, quick, before you die, tell me how you did it. And then you're like, no. Sorry. Oh, it just is nuts. And I want us all to be rich, because I feel like then we can have this rich Liberty Librarian Club, and we'll all hang out. It's like we're jet setting around like, hey, Total Vagabonds, nice to see you again. Like I travel all around the world. I would love that more than anything. Have a Liberty Librarian Roadshow and go and visit all y'all and talk about like books and weird crap and hang out. Why not? Wouldn't that be cool? So that would be awesome. And what was the last one that I wanted? They always talk about these strange gigs where you're using apps and stuff, and that shit will never work. It never works. I watch YouTube videos all the time and go, okay, if I do this and this and this and this, everything that you do that actually could pay off will take time. It takes effort. There's not much you can do that's that easy, except maybe the phone sex thing we talked about. I don't know. Like, I feel bad because like that's sort of a chick thing. There are dudes that do it. I just think that you have to like really stand out. I just think like you should make yourself stand out, not just like phone sex. The ultra rich make money because they help each other. So what we need to do is like make our own little Liberty Librarian Mafia, and we help each other get jobs and make an elite force of really cool people that help each other, find things. Because a lot of people, everything good that's happened in my life is just because I have this running dialogue. What I'm doing right now is like I say things out loud to people and go, boy, I really wish I could learn more about doing YouTube videos. Or I want to know about podcasting is how all of this started. And my friend Alicia was like, hey, come over and we'll like look at this. I'll show you some stuff. And I got hooked like really quick. And, you get out of your comfort zone and you go and talk to people and you learn really cool stuff. And that's, if nothing else, I hope you do that anyway, because it makes your life better. And they always say that there is a level of money you get to where it stops helping and it actually becomes more of a problem. So get in that zone where you're comfortable, you can do all the stuff you want, but you're not constantly like having to like deal with new crap all the time. So you can be rich, but happy, rich, and not psychotic. Like everyone wants you and your time, and you never get to rest. To me, I don't like being busy that much. I done with being super psycho busy in my life. I want to be like accomplished at things, learn new things, have fun, have a drink with friends, talk, that kind of stuff. That's rich to me. So that balance, not feeling like I'm going to wake up at night and going, are we going to have enough money so we can buy groceries so we can eat? I don't want to ever go through that again. It's hard, and I get it. So if you guys have good ideas on how to get rich, that would be super awesome. I'd love it if we all could like make our own like club of super rich, awesome people. That'd be cool. I had this like a couple things of news, and I realized I've been just yapping about making money so much that I've forgotten to move forward. But one of the things that I saw was in the news today. I think today is on, yes, today. It was on CNBC that the feds talked about during like the George Floyd protests and Lafayette Square, that they had considered using a heat ray on DC protesters. Now, I did not know what the heat ray was, so I looked it up because it's a weapon that they use on people it's called a long-range acoustic device, and its actual term is active denial system, which is the most government weapon that government could come up with. What it is it's like this, looks like a satellite dish that sits on top of a tank, really. And I think I'm going to show you this video because it is bonkers. It was on, they're testing it, and they had people that could come up and just try it out. This was from 8 years ago, so the Department of Defense did a demonstration on a group of Marines and personnel. And so I'm just going to show you what that looks like because it is beyond mental to me. Let's see. No, that's not the one. I'm going to stop that, share it. I got to turn the sound on for this. We're going to look at it. It's a little example of what they're going to use on protesters, which they didn't because they didn't have one handy. If they had, they would have totally done it. So I wanted to show you that because it is batshit. Okay, here we go. This is...
Marines and several other DoD representatives had quite the heated demonstration at Quantico, Virginia from the Joint Non-Lethal Weapons Directorate.
This is a military area. Move away from the perimeter. I say again, this is a military area. Move away from the perimeter.
Their new active denial system boasts a reach far beyond any other non-lethal
See, it
system.
looks like a little satellite
It's
dish.
a versatile system.
Flat.
And it has a range of non-lethal capability that we can't even come close to with any of our fielded systems today that are in our military forces.
About 7 football fields to give it some perspective. It can deter individuals on a military perimeter all the way up to a riotous crowd.
So you're
all
itching.
without permanent harm.
It only penetrates 1/64th of an inch of your skin. Goes very shallow into where your nerve receptors are, and there's no permanent injury caused by it. Very safe system. We built in some safety margins and training for the operators.
They even let any of the guests volunteer to test out its effectiveness and safety, including the Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, and Assistant Secretary of the Navy. Most described it as feeling like a hot oven or grill being opened up.
It is something that, once again, probably the safest system that we've developed as far as the non-lethal capability.
Yeah, right. It kind of freaks me out because it's like you're pointing a microwave oven at people, and they want to use this at a lot of the protests, and luckily they didn't get to. And what I dug a little bit more into it, and they had said that one of the people that got hurt from this not too long ago was a Marine that they're testing it on, and he had gotten too close and the settings had gotten weird, so he got second-degree burns from it. So think about that. If they're doing it on people, what are the side effects? What if it was a pregnant woman out there? What if there's somebody who had other health conditions that they don't? I mean, because they're not asking like, "Hey, are you guys? I know you're rioting and stuff. Does anyone got weird health issues? You might want to walk away because we're gonna point this shit at you and burn you with it." Yes, it looks like the trucks from the old Godzilla movies. Like Godzilla should show up and like stomp it or something. So I would just it boggles my mind that this active denial system heat ray would be used on people in the public, and that they thought they almost did it. They almost did it, and how horrible it would have been. I have a feeling like things could go terribly wrong. And so it's like they also use it for noises, and they've done different kinds of ways of getting people to disperse in crowds. So I thought that was interesting. And law enforcement personnel are armed. Active duty military troops are sent into region. They have used active denial system in the military for nearly two decades ago that they've developed it, but it was unveiled about 2007. So it's not clear if it's ever been used in combat, but there are reports that it has been deployed. So it probably has. It's probably secret. But they like to use it in war zones. But this is the first time that they've talked about using it on protesters in our own country against our own people. So law enforcement and security officers that night clubbed and punched protesters and unleashed mounted officers and chemical agents against the most controversial confrontations at the height of this year's nationwide protests over the killing of Black people at the hands of police. So you think that things are going to get better if you use something like that on our people who are protesting. It's not. It will turn to beyond bloody and horrific if they start using weaponry like this on our own civilians. They're already shooting us. They're already using chemicals against us. They're hitting us. They've definitely killed people. So what makes them think that if they use this, that people who are using it are going to do rational things and make sure that everyone is safe? I do not think they would. So this is one of the problems that I've noticed in our country, is that they're willing to use this, and it's a matter of time before they do. So let's see. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of time. Okay. So on that note, So many webinars. Ugh. How you guys feel about the webinars situation? I mean, we're doing this show. It's practically a webinar, except you don't get to talk, right? How does that really make your lives feel? I think we're still on a powder keg. This whole country is. Every time I see something, I'm waiting because in Minnesota they're doing, they're going to be doing sentencing and trials for some of the individuals involved in George Floyd. And when most of them go free, I expect there will be trouble again. And I worry, and this is why I brought up the non-lethal weaponry that they're using against our civilians, that it's a matter of time. I feel like we are living in such an impersonal world with constant webinars. I don't get to go to any of my library conferences. I have a book festival I'm doing, and it's going to be all online, which is, I mean, it's cool because there's some stuff I wouldn't have gotten to go to anyway, and I get to see it, but it's not the same. So I just think, okay, these two sides of it is the impersonal world that we're getting to. It's going to make it so it's so much easier to hurt people because you see them as on a screen far away. It's not like you're hurting real people, but you are. So I just really hope that the powers that be are aware that we're hurting and you don't need to hurt us more. And we need to make sure that our world has a little bit of stuff left to save, you know? I mean, it's pretty gruesome. I'm like, make it better. Find a way. So that, I think, is why I've been sort of focused on the get rich quick schemes and that. Oh, my cat came. He's like, you've talked too long. It's time. I've held off long enough, lady. We got to party. So I hope you guys have a great week. It's so good to get to visit with you. I kind of went on tangents tonight. My cat's here to make me calm down and relax. He's like, hey, lady, you don't need to be like crabby about the world. You still got me. So have a great week. Next week is, we're still September. So things are going to calm down a little bit for me because like things are evening out at school. But I will see you next week. I hope you have a great week. Are you good? I'm good too. I think I always feel a little bit better after I get to do the show with y'all. It makes me happy. So love y'all. Have a great night and a great week. And I will see you next Thursday. I'm going to get cat butt in my face again. Not again. Isn't he so pretty? Yes. That's my boy Rory. Rory boy. He knows it. Oh, my friend Charsty. Hi. Yay. See, this makes me happy. This is the best part of my week is getting to spend time with you guys. So have a lovely week. I will see you next Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. I hope your week is awesome too, Ginger. Love you. See you guys later. Have a good one. I'm going to play my outro. I can't hardly see because I got this cat in my face. But see you later. Bye, guys. Oops.